Dear students, welcome to my class. I am FATMI. Today we will discuss about electrophoresis. What is electrophoresis? Electrophoresis is a technique of separating or resolving charged molecules like protein or nucleic acid, RNA or DNA, etc. So these molecules which are having some charge can be separated using a technique called electrophoresis. Okay? The electrophoresis, in the technique of electrophoresis, the instrument used can be explained through this simple diagram. This by I am trying to explain you the process of electrophoresis through this simple diagram. In the same diagram, this portion is a slab made of gel. There are generally two types of gel are used, either agarose gel or polyacrylamide gel. This is it is a slab, thick plate of gel of certain thickness. We will discuss later. Okay, so this slab has certain depressions called wells. So these are wells where the sample is added, sample is kept, in which the molecules to be separated are present. Okay, and the whole structure is present in a cabinet which is filled with a suitable buffer. We will discuss about the buffer later in the later class. The whole structure is present in a cabinet and it is filled with a suitable buffer. Okay, and the cabinet and the buffer is connected to electrodes. Okay, and cathode and anode. Generally, when the negatively charged molecules are to be separated, the cathode is directed towards the well and anode is away from the well. Okay. Now, when an electric current is supplied, a voltage will be generated or a voltage gradient will be generated. That voltage gradient equals the V by D. That voltage gradient is known as E. Okay, that voltage gradient, a potential gradient, the potential gradient is expressed as E is equal to V by D. This gradient and this V is the potential voltage applied. This V is the voltage applied and this is the distance between the two electrodes. The larger the D, smaller will be gradient bit of the potential difference of potential gradient. Okay, this potential due to this development of this potential development gradient, a force will be generated which will be applied, exerted on the molecule, driving it towards the oppositely charged electrodes. That means if this is the negatively charged molecule, this will move away from the cathode towards the anode. Take it, and the driving force is the electric field generated or electric force generated due to this electrical potential gradient. Okay, and what will be the force? The force can be expressed by this formula where F is the force exerted on that molecule, and this force which is the driving force which is driving the molecule towards the oppositely charged electrodes, this force equals the charge multiplied by voltage potential gradient. Okay, that means a force will be more if the charge is more. The more charge molecule having more charge, we will discuss later, will experience more force. Okay, but while the molecule is moving, it is a medium, and every medium has certain resistance force or force of friction. ठीक है? This molecule will also experience a force of friction which will oppose its mobility down the slab. And that friction force equals 6 pi eta r, where r is the radius of the molecule and eta is the viscosity of the medium. Okay, so that means, and this friction force depends upon the size of the molecule, shape of the molecule, and pore of the slab. This slab is porous, having pores of certain size. That size of the pore depends on the concentration of the agarose or polyacrylamide in the slab. Okay, so if the size is greater, more will be the resisting force or force of friction. If shape is different, a different molecule of different shape have different friction force. Okay, generally a linear molecule have a lesser friction force than a round molecule, a spherical molecule. Okay. Okay, the shape and the pore size. That means if the pore is of this size, a molecule of larger size of this size cannot pass through this, or will pass through difficulties. It will face some difficulty in passing through this pore, but a molecule of this size will easily pass through this. That means a smaller molecule will move faster, or a smaller molecule will experience less force of resistance than the larger molecule. That means a smaller molecule will move faster. Okay, then this is the basic idea. Then what will be the velocity of the charged molecule? It can be expressed as V velocity is equal to E multiplied by Q divided by upon F. Okay, that is the formula of velocity of a charged particle. This is the force, driving force, and this is the opposing force. So these forces operate, and the resultant will be the deriving force producing this velocity. Nowadays, electrophoretic mobility is more commonly used. Okay? And electrophoretic mobility is equals to V or velocity upon potential gradient. Okay? So that means K nu is equal to EQ by E into F, because this is V. So V upon F, that means EQ by E into F. This E and this E will be cancelled, and the mu is equal to Q divided by F, charge divided by friction force. That means, and friction force depends upon the size, shape, or pore size, and the viscosity of the medium. Okay, that means the electrophoretic mobility of the molecule will be directly proportional to the charge of the molecule, and will be inversely proportional to the friction force. That means that two molecules of equal size or equal mass, but one has a charge Q1 and another has a charge Q2. Suppose this is particle A. If Q1 is greater than Q2, that means the particle A will move faster in the electrophoretic gel in comparison to B. Okay, these two has same size, but the charge of the A is greater than the charge of B. That means that molecule with greater charge will move faster than the molecule having lesser charge. Okay, this is the fun thing. That means that two molecules having same mass of size, okay, but different charge, then the molecule having more charge will move faster. Okay. Similarly, two molecules having same charge, two molecules A and B having same charge, but the size of A is less than size of B. That means that this will experience or face less friction force, and we have discussed it, radius, shape, size. Okay, and will move easily through this pore. That means a smaller molecule will move faster than the larger molecule in the slide. So that is the explained over here. The two molecules having same charge but different size, the smaller molecule will move faster in the electrophoretic slide. So this is the basic idea. By this way, by differential movement due to difference in charge or different in their size, the two molecules can be separated through electrophoresis. This is the basic idea of electrophoresis. Okay, thank you very much.